Hey, it's Aaron from GTAO Vlogs. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share something with you. A few years back now, because I like doing do-it-yourself projects, and I had some inspiration from different YouTube videos I was watching, I built a HighBanker. And the HighBanker that I built was made so that it would be a very good recirculation unit if need be. It would also work as a standard HighBanker as they're typically used, where you shovel feed them or feed them with a bucket, and it would either be powered by a battery operated pump. We've got a 3,500 gallon per hour battery operated pump, or powered by a gasoline, regular water pump. As well, the unit could work as a combo unit, so that if you hooked up a suction device, you could run the suction hose right up into the top of the hopper and have it work as like a combo unit HighBanker. So anyway, it's been built now. I just did a little bit of tuning up last day or so to get it ready, but I've had it built for a couple years, and because of the local regulations, I know in some parts of the country you guys are able to dredge, you're able to high bank. Well, it's not like that everywhere, and so it's been basically collecting dust, and I decided to put it together and make sure it's all operable and everything, and I might be using it here, and so I wanted to show you guys and just show you what it is. So I'm going to turn around the camera and I'll show you what I'm talking about. All right, here is my do-it-yourself combo unit HighBanker. Works really well with a recirculating setup because in a lot of times, although I've never used it out in the field yet, a lot of times we are trying to conserve water. So I wanted to make something that would work well as a recirculation unit, and it does work quite well that way. I've tested it out in the backyard. I've run buckets through it, but never just use it as a primary concentrator as it was intended to be used. So up in the top here, I've got a couple 5-gallon buckets that are custom fitted, glued up with silicone and whatnot. And then down on the bottom, there's a A52. It's a standard A52 sluice run, and in this case this has the standard profile Keen riffles, but the neat thing about it is that if you had a lot of flow, if you had a lot more flow, you could take a set of Dredge Riffles, which are what these are. This is a A52 that I got from a friend of mine who was moving out of state, and he was giving up prospecting. So this one has the Dredge Riffle setup. So you could put Dredge Riffles in, you could put standard riffles in if you wanted to here. So, but basically that's the lower run. That's the last set of gold traps in this setup that I have here. The first set of gold traps is up here. I'm going to take this off for a minute. This is like this is a feed box that I made out of actually it's a shelf. It's one of those plastic shelves. It's a shelf drawer that I converted into a hopper type device, so that it serves a couple purposes. One thing it does is it keeps some of the spray in the box, but also it allows you to dump dirt right up in the top here and have it funnel down into the wash box. I'm going to take it off for a minute. You can see the spray bars are 1.5 inch ABS, and they're fashioned like that so that the water comes up into the middle and then spreads out and then goes to the spray bars evenly on both sides. And I've got this adjustable brackets here, these aluminum brackets. They're adjustable up in this part and they're adjustable down in the bottom, so that not only can you adjust the angle of the sluice, but you can adjust the angle of the of the hopper, the wash box, or the wash buckets up here. So these are the spray bars, and these are not glued in, so you can turn, we can turn these, we can adjust them. Got a bunch of holes up here, and then I have holes alternating down the spray bar on both sides, and these can be actually turned while you're using it. And then up on the top here, I have some expanded metal that I bought a piece of expanded metal from Keen. So I've got some expanded metal. Underneath that, I've got just a standard miner's moss, which I believe is 3/8 of an inch thick. The old school miner's moss. Underneath that, there's underneath that miner's moss, there's a layer of low profile VMAT running all the way down. And then as the material comes, as the slurry comes down through here, there's a couple traps that I made right in here. This is grooved aluminum. I think it's a window. I think it's like window molding. A lot of this is made out of scrap aluminum and parts and pieces. And then initially, I just had the aluminum bars here for grizzly bars, so the slurry could go down through these bars. What I ended up finding out happening was the pancake size rocks and things would get wedged down in here and tend to sort of clog the works up. So I got a piece of punch plate that I can set on there, and that really classifies very well. Everything has to go through that punch plate, which works really well. What happens is it comes down here, and all the slurry goes down through the first 6 inches or so of the punch plate and the spray and the grizzly bars, goes down into the lower bucket right here, and it launches down into this cut-off bucket. I've got a cut-off bucket here, which I've done. This is one of my friends, Corey from CDC Prospecting. He was talking about hand drilling a punch plate. This is a punch plate that I actually hand drilled. And it's riveted in there. It's riveted into the bottom of the bucket. So all the slurry comes down into the bottom here and hits this punch plate, and then it's got to go that direction. So it all goes that direction. Underneath here, let me see. Let me go back a minute. So it all comes out here, and then I've got a little flapper. I've got a little flapper here that's hung up on this PVC pipe. So then all the slurry goes through, and it runs over the standard VMAT in the A52, and then it runs out over the carpet and the expanded metal, just the standard A52 setup there. So I'll set that in there for a minute. Underneath the little half bucket in here, I have I got a piece of VMAT that's cut to fit the bottom. This is actually deep. This is a standard deep or deep VMAT, high profile, whatever it is. And then you can see in the back here, I use some silicone to sort of create a seal so that the water and any slurry doesn't have anywhere to go except right on here and then right on out. So it has to run out, and then it runs out over the out over that VMAT and out the flapper here. So that's the whole setup, and I just thought I'd share that with you. I love doing do-it-yourself projects, and this is one of the ones here that I really haven't had a lot of chance to use yet, but I'm looking forward to putting it to use and just seeing how it works out. And so there you go. All right. Talk to you soon then.